as Catherine and Joe and Keith have already beat you to it, but that's okay. You can still get your good morning greeting in there. If you get it in there before I leave, might even get it in on the show. And if you have a question or a comment or something you would like for me to tackle, leave that in the comments as well. All right, so a mixed bag of news this morning as it relates to the numbers. Let's go ahead and get to those. So we can talk about them. So, as I'm sure you have heard, if you have listened to any source of news in the last 24 hours, the number of cases continue to go up. The number that we're paying the most attention to so far has been this rate of growth. And it's kind of flirting around right here in this 1.2 range for the last couple of days. This number is important because it's the number that's going to indicate to us that we've reached the inflection point. We're over the hump and we're ready to reboot and get started again. Okay, so that's why we're watching this number very carefully. That's why we report on this number every day. Maybe over the weekend, I don't know, we'll have to see how that turns out. But I've done a tremendous amount of analysis on this growth in other countries and done some comparison to where we are with them and that sort of thing. We're in much better shape than almost every other country that is experiencing this. So I'll share those. I think I did the comparison chart last weekend, so I'll update it again this weekend. Post it in the group over there. Small Business Fights COVID-19. So you can see those numbers as well. But there's another, even more encouraging number. They've been super slow to report recoveries. And I can understand that. And this might be hard to see, but it's down here at the bottom. So far, there have been 1,295 deaths. As of the end of the day yesterday, there are now 1,868 recoveries. That's the first time that the number of recoveries has been above the number of deaths. So there is, we'll see that the rule with just about everything is it needs to hold for 2 or 3 days. But if that holds, then that's very, very good news for everyone. Other news that's going on, still no resolution of what is now being called the CARE bill. It's in the House. They're debating. There's lots of stuff in there. But we'll just keep an eye on that. As that moves through, when it comes through, we'll be sure and give you an update on that. I do have in the works, should be ready later this morning or this afternoon at the latest, as comprehensive a list as we can find and compile of resources. If you need especially financial resources right now, this is as comprehensive a list as we can find. Now, to that end, I did a bunch of calling around yesterday, talking to my sources in the industry, even had a conversation with LD Ralph from the SBA. We'll have him on again next week too to give us an update. My advice to all the business owners that I have worked with, now I'm giving this advice to you, I see no reason why you should not apply for the SBA emergency funding unless you are unimpacted. If you've had any kind of impact, go ahead and apply. Talking with LD yesterday, their systems are completely inundated. The website has crashed multiple times. There is a manual way to apply. It's going to take some time. I mean, it's going to take a while to get these processed and start getting money out. So even if you think you might be, go ahead and make the application. If you get a worst case scenario, you get the money and you don't need it. Stick it in a bank for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, and then pay it back. I mean, the interest you get, it's not going to offset the interest. Well, actually, it will for the first 6 months because they're interest free for the first 6 months. Stick it in the bank for a couple of months, earn a little bit of interest off of it, pay it back if you don't need it. But the process is taking a long time, so you should do that. Also, if you're in the North Alabama area and you're looking for alternative sources, don't forget the folks at Neighborhood Concepts have announced this week their emergency line of credit product for up to $25,000. The SBA loans are up to $2 million, depending on need and impact. So there are a lot of resources available. Just take advantage of them. That's why they are there. If you don't need them, pay them back. Not that big a deal, right? All right, final thing that I want to, actually two things. First, I have some awesome partners that I'm working with, and they're going to help me out over the weekend so I can actually have a morning off. Very appreciative of them to do that, to undertake that. Carrie Higley from Gen Connect Recruiting will be doing the show tomorrow, and Samantha Brinkley from Rocket City HR will be doing the show on Sunday. Thank you to them for stepping up and doing that. I really appreciate that. So, and you guys continue to give them the love and support that you give me every day. It'll be awesome. They'll do a great job. And finally, I want to get back to doing this quote of the day because, and it's not just because today's quote is for me, but we need some brightness, some bright, shiny stuff in our life. Yeah, so we're going to do that. This quote for me is the basis of my business. Not to put, make it extra heavy or anything. As Catherine says, better to have it, not need it, than not have it at all. Here's the quote. I believe that you are uniquely gifted, talented, and placed to do work that matters. Now, there's a lot of definition and a lot of interpretation that goes into that, but I want you to take just a minute right now. I'm going to cut the show just a few minutes short today so you can have just a minute to sit there and mull on that. You, watching this show, listening to my voice, are uniquely gifted, uniquely talented, and uniquely placed to do work that matters, both to you and to somebody else in the world. How are you manifesting and how are you fulfilling that mandate today? That's what I want you to think about and figure out. All right. As always, click on the share button underneath the video or the audio, depending on where you're watching or listening. Another business owner in this world. Share this video with them so they can join us. They can get the updates every day as well. They can know when the inflection point occurs, and they will know how to reboot their business successfully and get back to work. We'll probably be talking about that a lot next week. Not just here on this show. We'll talk about it a lot on this show. But just in general, I want you to start listening for this weekend and especially next week. This idea that it's time to get back to work. The president has said it. He's depending on who you listen to, he's either taking a lot of praise or taking a lot of crap. But as this April the 5th kind of end date approaches on the calendar, there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure to get back to work and some very difficult decisions that have to be made. So just start listening for that and filtering that through the information that you're getting here and form your own opinion of what needs to happen. Okay, that's it. Remember, you are uniquely gifted, talented, and placed. Go today and do work that matters. I may talk to you tomorrow, but Carrie will be here tomorrow, and I'll be back on Monday. You guys have a great day today, great weekend. Be sure and tune in and support them. I'll see you again on Monday. Take care.